Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and everything in between. Welcome back to What's on the Playlist today. Today I want to talk about Elton John's self-titled album, Elton John, which was released in 1971. This is actually not his first album, it's his second. His first album, I can't remember the name of it, but it sold well, but none of the songs on it were really hit singles. This album was intended to be almost like a demo. The producer at the time was like, this is meant to showcase Elton John and Bernie Taupin's songwriting talents for other artists to perform. And actually, Three Dog Night actually performed Your Song, and Aretha Franklin did Border Song. And, you know, their versions charted well. But Elton John's versions did very well as well. I'm saying well a lot. Sorry about that. Your Song is actually Elton John's first song to actually break the top 100. I think it peaked at 92. But Three Dog Night actually didn't release it as a single. They wanted to help promote, you know, Elton John's, you know, career, and so they just let him, you know, they may have recorded it for one of their albums, but they didn't release a single. And actually, Your Song was the B-side of the single. Take Me to the Pilot was actually side A, and Your Song was actually side B, but Your Song got more airplay. So the fact that this album was nominated for Album of the Year for the Grammys was kind of a surprise. The songs didn't peak that high in the rating, but the album itself peaked at, I think, number 4 in the U.S. Billboard charts. So the album did very well. Songs individually, not so much. But, you know, and this song, the album itself, all the songs were written by Elton John and Bernie Taupin, as almost all of Elton John's songs are. The only other real trivia I could find about the album was the song Take Me to the Pilot. Elton John doesn't actually know what that song means. So the lyrics like take me to the pilot, lead me to the chamber, take me to the pilot, I am but a stranger. There's no meaning to the song. It's just silly stuff. Despite the album doing well, it wasn't really received well by critics. Well, more like it got mixed reviews. All the critical reviews of the times that I could find basically said it was overproduced, overblown. You know, the songs can be fun, and it does kind of showcase, you know, Elton John's talents. It was just overproduced and overblown. It's like, you know, so this did not, like I said, critically it got mixed reviews. Commercially, it did much more better than the critics would, than critically. But this was, this was Elton John's breakthrough album, in spite of the fact that it really wasn't, it really wasn't intended to be. The rest of the album itself is kind of a mix. I did do a quick listen through. The second song, I Need You to Turn To, is kind of like, it's slow and melodic and it's on the harpsichord. But then the next song, well, the next song is Take Me to the Pilot, but like No Shoestrings on Louise is kind of like a honky-tonk blues song. So the album lyrically and musically is kind of all over the place. There's no set tone to the album. That's not necessarily a bad thing, but it might, this is just me speculating, that might be why like some of the songs didn't maybe perform as well. Because it's not, the album isn't tonally concise. You know, there's a lot of variety, which can be good, but for the listening public, not always as good for record sales. Good for me, someone who likes variety, but not the general pub. Not always the general public. They don't always. They like their artists to have a same sound a lot. But again, that's just me speculating. Short video, because I couldn't find a lot on the stuff. Just what I said, and I managed to say it very quickly. So, as always, thanks for watching. As always, my stuff is crap. And until next time, good hunting.